Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Anya Deva Huvidyaya. Anya Rahu Avidyaya. Iti Shushamadhirana. Yena Stada Vichachakshire. Anya Deva Huvidyaya. Anya Rahu Avidyaya. Iti Shushamadhirana. Yes, Nas Yena Stada Vichachakshire. Anya, different. Eva, certainly. Ahu, say. Vidyaya, by culture of knowledge. Anya, different. Ahu, say. Avidyaya, reasons. Iti, thus. Shushuma, her. Dhirana, from the sober sect. Ye, those, naha, to us, tat, that, which is actually explained. The Veda has explained to us that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge, and it is said that a different result is obtained from the culture of gnosis. The wise have explained to us that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge, and it is said that a different result is derived, obtained from the culture of gnosis. You'll read. Doesn't matter. Wrong but.
As advised in chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, 38:12, one should culture knowledge in the following way. 1. One should become a perfect gentleman and learn to give proper respect to others. 2. One should not post himself as a religionist simply for naming faith. One should not become a source of anxiety to others by the actions of his body, by the thought of his mind, or by his words. One should learn forbearance even in the face of provocation from others. One should learn to objectively speak in his dealings with others. One should search out a bona fide spiritual master who can lead him gradually to the state of spiritual realization, and one must submit himself to such a spiritual master, render him service, and ask relevant questions. In order to approach the platform of self-realization, one must follow the regulating principles explained in the revealed scriptures. Enjoined in the revealed scriptures, one must be fixed in the tenets of the revealed scriptures. One should completely refrain from practicing which are detrimental to the interest One should not accept more than he requires for the maintenance of the body. One should not falsely identify himself with the gross material body, nor should one consider those who are related to the body to be his own. One should always remember that as long as he has a material body, he must face the miseries of the repeated birth, old age, and death. There is no use in making plans to get rid of the miseries of the material body. The best course is to find out the means by which one may regain spiritual identity. One should not be attached to more than the necessities of life required for spiritual advancement. One should not be more attached to wife, children, and home than within spirituals or day. One should not be happy or distressed over desirable or undesirable, not knowing that such feelings are just created by the mind. One should become an unalloyed devotee of the personality of God Sri Krishna and serve him with rapt attention. One should develop a liking for residence in a secluded place with a calm and quiet atmosphere favorable for spiritual culture, and one should avoid congested places where non-devotees congregate. One should become a scientist or a philosopher and conduct research in spiritual knowledge, recognizing that spiritual knowledge is permanent, whereas material knowledge ends with the death of the body. These 18 items combine to form a gradual process by which real knowledge can be developed. Except for these, all these methods are considered to be in the category of nescience. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakura, a great Acharya, maintained that all the forms of material knowledge are merely external features of the individual energy, and that by culturing them, one becomes no better than an animal. This same principle is found here in Sri Ishopnishad. By advancement of material knowledge, modern man is simply being converted to an animal. Some materialist politicians in spiritual guise decry the present system of civilization as a handy, but unfortunately they do not care about the culture of real knowledge as is described in Bhagavad Gita. Thus they cannot change the fanatic situation. In the modern society, even a boy thinks himself self-sufficient and pays no respect to the man. Due to the wrong type of education being imparted in our universities, boys all over the world are giving their elders today. Thus, Sri Ishopnishad very strongly warns that the culture of nations is different from that of knowledge. The universities are, so to speak, centers of nations only. Consequently, scientists are busy discovering lethal results to wipe out the existence of other countries. University students today are not given instructions in the regulated principles of Brahmacharya, celibate students' life, nor do they have any faith in any social injunctions. Religious principles are taught for the sake of name and fame only, and not for the sake of practical action. Thus, there is animosity not only in society and political fields, but in the field of religion as well. Nationalism has developed in different parts of the world due to the cultivation of nations of the people. No one considers that this tiny earth is just a lump of matter floating in immeasurable space along with many other lumps. In comparison to the vastness of space, these material lumps are like dust particles in the air. Because God has kindly made these lumps of matter complete in themselves, they are perfectly equipped with all necessities for floating in space. The drivers of our spaceship may be very proud of their achievement, but they do not consider the supreme driver of these later more gigantic spaceships called planets. There are innumerable suns and innumerable planetary systems also. As infinitesimal part and parcels of the Supreme Lord, these small creatures are trying to dominate these unlimited planets. Thus, we take repeated birth and death and are generally frustrated by old age and disease. The span of human life is scheduled for about 100 years, although it is gradually decreasing to 20 or 30 years. Thanks to the culture of nations, before men have created their own nations within these planets in order to grasp sense enjoyment more effectively for those few years. Such foolish people draw up various plans to render national demarcation perfectly, a task that is totally impossible. Yet for this purpose, each and every nation has become a source of anxiety for others. More than 50% of nations' energy is devoted to defense Ishopnishad warns us of this faulty type of education, and Bhagavad Gita gives instruction as to divine knowledge. This mantra states that instructions of Vidya knowledge must be acquired from a dhira. A dhira is one who is not disturbed by mental illusion. No one can be undisturbed unless he is perfectly spiritually realized, at which time one neither has nor limits for anything. A dhira realizes that the material body and the mind he has acquired by chance through material association are but fallen elements. Therefore, he simply makes the best use of bad bargaining. The material body and mind are bad bargains for the spiritual living entity. The living entity has actual functions in the living spiritual world, but this material world is dead. As long as the living spiritual sparks manipulate the dead lumps of matter, the dead world appears to be the living world. Actually, it is the living souls, the part and parcels of the supreme living being, who move the world. The Dhiras have come to know all these facts and hearing them from superior authorities and have realized this knowledge from following the regulatory principles. To follow the regulatory principles, one must take shelter from a bona fide spiritual master. The transcendental message and regulatory principles come down from the spiritual master with the disciple. Such knowledge does not come in the hazardous way of Messian education. One can become a Dhira only by submissively hearing from a bona fide spiritual master. Arjuna, for example, became a Dhira by submissively hearing from Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of God himself. Thus, a perfect disciple must be like Arjuna, and spiritual master must be as good as the Lord himself. This is the process of learning Vidya, knowledge, from the Dhira, the undisturbed. As a Dhira, one who has not undergone the training of a Dhira cannot be an instructed leader. Modern politicians who call themselves Dhiras are actually Adhiras, and one cannot expect perfect knowledge from them. They are simply busy seeing to their own remunerations in dollars and cents. How then can they lead the mass of people to the right path of self-realization? Thus, one must be a submissive from a Dhira in order to attain actual education.
Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Bhashatade Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the famous verse Iti Shushava Dhirana. And now this knowledge cannot be learned from a Dhira. Now there are two things being distinguished here. Culture of real knowledge and culture of ignorance. What are the difference? Now it very nicely comes in an instance. This is a school of Shanta and Amarka. In the Bhagavatam this comes the situation. Prahlad Maharaj, the son of Hiranyakashipu. So Prahlad Maharaj is a celebrated devotee. Now he had an opportunity when he was in the womb of his mother to hear to Narada. Real knowledge. Culture of real knowledge he did in the womb of his mother. Child is conscious, even we know today. But child getting educated in the womb, that nobody knows. In fact, he was educated. Prahlad Maharaj is a great devotee and he had an opportunity to hear Narada. Now later, when he came out in this world, his father entrusted him to the school of Shanda and Amarka, who were the sons of Shukracharya or disciples of Shukracharya. I think sons of Shukracharya. Shukra means a seminal succession only. No, there is knowledge succession. So then what happens is that he never likes what is being taught in the school. Okay? So the school of Shanda and Amarka represents, we can say, materialistic education. And what Narada taught him, and also what he taught to his classmates, represents spiritual education. In fact, Bhagavatam explains that after he was educated by Shanda and Amarka, his father calls him one day. And father says, what is the best thing you have learned? He does not repeat one thing that he learned from his so-called materialistic education of Shanda and Amarka. He rather openly says, the best thing is, Tatusadu manye asuravarya sada samudvigna dhyam asatgraha hitva tapatam grihandukupam harimasya vanam gatomya hariyasya. He says, my dear father, any person in this world, my dear, best of the asuras, best of the rakshasas, asuravarya they. Now, Prabhupada says, it doesn't say my dear father. He says, oh best of the rakshasas, sada samudvigna dhyam asatgraha. We are always in anxiety because we are trying to make a settlement in a temporary place. Asatgraha. Asat means which is a temporary place. So this no materialistic education, college or school will teach you that. Sir, we are teaching an education by which you are trying to make a settlement in a temporary place. Nobody will teach you. Whole idea is hedonism. Enjoy your senses. We'll teach you some technology. Either it may be dental or medicine. We always joke. It is rather like cutting skin, cutting bone, or that's all. Some kind of technology by which you can earn some money. Then what do I do with the money? Enjoy your senses. That is the mission of human life. And that is the only example a teacher will give you also, his personal life. This is called culture of avidya, not culture of vidya. In fact, later what happens is that, and we know what happens to his father, who was interested only in culture of avidya, he could not handle that. He wanted to kill his own son for this knowledge. And in later instance, when he's trained again, and again he is brought back to his father, still he rejects all the teaching of his parents. In fact, the materialistic education can be divided into three parts: dharma, artha, and kama. Dharma means so-called stupid values of society. Be nice, be polite. Some kind of craziness, that's all. And atheist people delight in our knowledge. They can never follow that actually. They never follow any one of them. Today you see the youth, even though they talk about all that, most disturbing. I as a teacher know, 5 minutes they cannot sit quiet in a class. It's just like a dog. If you keep in a room 2 dogs, you can know their nature. Same way, you leave 5 minutes, you leave them. Suppose by mistake you're late for the class 5 minutes, just see the kind of like a fish market. It shows you leave a man alone without an engagement, his real nature comes out. In fear and all, you must show some, that is artificial behavior. Your real behavior comes out when you leave you free and you watch. What are you going to do? Shouting, how that shows up. Animal kind of a behavior. So this is a so-called dharma. People talk a lot, but cannot show even a simple basic principles. This is dharma. Then is artha. Artha means somehow get some money. Why? Next is kama, so that I can enjoy my senses. That's all within this circle the materialistic education lies. Culture of avidya. And in this field, even if you want to plant vidya, you cannot do it. I recently was discussing that. It hurts. The fact is that if you want to receive real knowledge, you have to come to at least a sattvic platform where samadama, tapa, these all trainings are there. Why is it? Samadama, tapa training, control of mind, control of senses, austerity, to be clean, shuchi. Why do you need all this kind of training to culture? Yes, if you plant a seed, the ground should be fertile, otherwise waste. So it will not. Even if you teach in this field, Vidya, it cannot be digested. So person has to agree. Sometimes some people come to challenge, show me God. Wait a minute, sir. You cannot teach like this. First of all, you have to culture yourself. You have to be purified for this knowledge to be absorbed in your system. Like this, nothing can be done. 1 minute, nothing can be done. You have to be purified. Suppose I want to see, if cataracts are there, definitely I cannot see. It will be difficult for me to see. So in this chapter, therefore, there Prahlad Maharaj later, very nice instance happened. In fact, the second time he told his father what are the best of things he knows. Again, after Shanda and Amarka scolded him and harassed him and kept as if brainwashing him in materialistic education. And he went back to his father, called him again. What did you learn? He says, Shamadam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Purusharpito Vishnu Veda Bhagavati Gata. And then last line is Kriyat Bhagavati Gata. It goes on. So he says, my dear father, there are 9 ways of learning. 9 things, rather. 9 ways we can please Krishna. This is the best of knowledge, highest of knowledge. Hear about the Lord, glorify the Lord, think about the Lord, Smarana, serve the lotus feet of the Lord. What is the purpose? Today what we have is purposeless life. The human life, the purpose is somehow please the Lord, whatever we are doing. If that is missing, then whatever you are doing cannot be connected to anything purposeful, no aimless, goalless life. In fact, his father becomes very, very disappointed after that, and we all know that he tried to kill him in so many ways, and he failed to do that. And then after that, again he gave them for education. Tried one more time to brainwash this fellow into materialistic education. And at that point now, Prahlad Maharaj takes an opportunity to teach his classmates. Now his classmates are also the same age, 5-year-old boy. He was speaking all this. And they were not very polluted because they were young, even though their atmosphere at home was also very materialistic. What we see today, actually 99.9%, the only goal is, success of life is, that the son can make a lot of money. My son is so successful. That's the only hallmark of success today that we are having today. Nothing else. So what happens is that Prahlad Maharaj, in the tiffin hours or sometimes the teachers are not in the class, finds an opportunity. Children at 5 years, what they will do when they are free? They play. So all the friends, when they are free, they will play. Just like today, we play with toys. They are playing in their own way. This is going on. So Prahlad Maharaj doesn't play. This is proper, says extraordinary. If a small child is not playing and is serious about spiritual life, shows this child is something special. It is not possible. It is extraordinary. Correct? It's a mark of an extraordinary personality. Today, even at 30, 40 years, you see them playing games. Waste. This is a waste of civilization. That is called, what did the Arjuna says to them? Varna Shankaraha, good for nothing. What we see, good for nothing. You ask any youngster today, you had 2 days education, a holiday, what did you do? I played games. Sometimes I really wonder, small children can play, so samajh aata hai, their age is like that, they are foolish actually. An educated grown-up man playing games? I not understood. I don't know. Somehow I didn't get addicted to that. Neither am I able to understand or appreciate that from any angle. And how somebody can do that. It's so foolish. And that is the biggest selling. The Xbox and all these game machines today are selling in millions. People are making billions of dollars in that. People buy a separate gaming console and a terminal for it. If you go to the malls also, heavy sales are going on. And elderly people also sit at Prahlad Maharaj at 5-year-old threw these all toys. Either you are electronic or non-threw. So it's all friends gathered around him. One thing, he was very sober. He attracts everybody. Very polite, good in all the qualities. As we're discussing here, Prabhupada says to receive knowledge, a lot of qualities are needed. To be free from all these frivolous things, to have a bona fide spiritual master, you have to have a guru to learn. Without guru, you cannot learn. Without a book and without a teacher, you learn nothing. Correct? Can you learn anything? Not possible. Any subject cannot be learned. So he had to work. And very serious in self-realization. And then what happens is that all his friends around him, they say, why did you play with us? What is this? And he was the son of the emperor. So anyway, he will be special. So everybody sits around him. So why did you play? He says, please, I'd like to say something to all of you. So they were not so polluted. They sat down. Just tell us what you want to say. So there Bhagavatam says, Prahlad Maharaj first smiles. Why? Prabhupada, that is what the nature. An acharya like Prahlad Maharaj laughs at the materialistic civilization. What is this nonsense? You are all absorbed. He smiles. Then he says, Kamaram acharesh pragno dharman bhagavatam iha durlabam manusham janma tadapi adurvam ardhadam. In fact, it is said by Yamaraja itself that there are 12 people on this world who know the principle of dharma. One of them is Prahlad. If you want to know what my duty of life is, what is the mission of my life is, here to Prahlad Maharaj. There are 12 of them who actually know. Mahajanas. Mahajana Yengata Sapanta. Follow the procedure of these 12 Mahajanas. What are the 12 Mahajanas? Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu. Swayambhu is Brahma himself, Narada Muni. Shambhu is Lord Shiva. Then Kumara, Kapila, Manu. Kumara is the 4 sons of Brahma. Kumaras, Kapila Muni. Kumara, Kapilo, Manu. Then Manu, that is referring to Swayambhu Manu. One of the 12 Manus. Yeah, then Prahlad Maharaj and Janaka and Bhishma. Then Bali Maharaj, Vyasaki, son of Vedavyasa. Shukadeva Goswami and Vayam, me, that is Yamaraj. These 12 people know. And Bhagavatam is such a literature. If you want to culture Vidya, please hear that literature. Because these 12 people will come and speak in Bhagavatam and guide the humanity. Because these 12 people, the Mahajanas, are not speaking in the modern day education system. Nobody quotes them. Nobody quotes. If they quote also, they quote wrong. I had gone to some management college and they were talking about Nishkama Karma. I explained to them what is the real meaning of Nishkama Karma. No, Swami, this is too advanced. This is what it is. They want to quote also, just cut and paste something which looks, comfortable. There is no big, establishments have come and they put outside knowledge is power, work is worship, all bogus, wasting time, mission, vision, everything bogus. And not a single gram of Vidya is cultured there. Only ignorance. Only ignorance. Waste. Actually, a time of a human being is wasted. 1 decade, 2 decades, simply time is wasted. Correct? As a student, they will tell. Simply time is wasted. Nothing a person learns actually. Centers of nuisance, not centers of learning. They all pride themselves in. Any college will say, center of learning. Not so center of learning, center of nuisance, center of ignorance. How now you are going to prove it? So Prahlad Maharaj then he says, Kamara, right from the childhood. Dharman Bhagavatam Iha, please learn how to serve the Supreme Personality, Bhagavan. Durlabam Manusham Janma. Human life is so rare, my friends. So rare. It's not easy. As we have been discussing, lakhs of species are there, so rare to get this. Oh, we should be so fortunate and to be born in India, still super fortunate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it's so not easy to get born in India. Bharat hoile janma hai yaar. In this land, hint of spiritual life is there in anybody. So he says, Kaumaram acharit pragno dharman bhagavatam iha. Begin from 5 years of age, spiritual education. Not that whole life do activities of sense gratification. That's why that today the tendency is, suppose a child is becoming serious. Many times somebody came to me, quite depressed and so many ways. I said to read kindly Bhagavad Gita. No, my parents, I started reading. Parents are saying, Baba, you become a sannyasi. Old age you think about it. And what they are doing at old age? Watching 140 channels. Sir, it is not possible. Suddenly turn yourself around in old age, nobody can do that. And what is the guarantee you live till old life? What is the guarantee? Previously people used to live more actually. You know, if nowadays 60, 70 they have a heart attack. Finished. Even early 30-year-old people get heart attack. Simply say. And then, what is the guarantee anyway? You live a whole life. And then whatever point you die, whatever kind of meditation attachment you have developed, you take your body accordingly. How dangerous civilization this is. Prabhupada says this is a soul killing civilization. Soul killing. Kill him. A child is born with some interest in human form of life. The whole society makes a game plan. Kill him. He should have a spiritual death. He should not at all get interested in spiritual life. That is the whole program of the materialistic education. Only thing you should learn is how making capable to earn money, and the next step is what you should do, become expert in sense gratification. And then, yes, my son is so successful. You know, he's enjoying like this, he's enjoying like that. Some fools are there whose friend will clap and we think everything is successful. But actually what we achieved, we killed him actually. We destroyed his life. And the person is also, we see after that, depressed, frustrated. In fact, Bhagavatam says, what it says? Bhagavad bhakti hinasya jati shastra tapas kriya apranasi dehasya mandalam lokaram ranjana. He says, without Bhagavad bhakti, this civilization today is what kind of civilization? Civilization without any trace of devotion to the Lord. Anybody is culturing devotion to the Lord? Nobody is culturing. Any education institution they are teaching them. Bhagavad bhakti hinasya. Devoid of Bhagavad bhakti, any education is a decoration of a dead body. It is of no value to them. And that is what we are learning. Jadi Shastram Tapaskriya. Oh, big books have been made. Shastram, so much books have been made. So much hard work is going on. So much hard work. We see, so many night outs and so much hard work. One exam, another exam, another exam, another exam. Apranasi dehasya. Because this whole education is lacking devotion to the Lord, it is a decoration of a dead body. Mandalam lokaranjana. Who appreciates it? Only fools will appreciate this kind of education. Only fools. No intelligent man, dhirana. No sober man will give any marks to this education. It's a dead education for the dead body, dead people. Common man, oh, he's so educated, he is a PhD, he is a doctor, he is a B.Tech, M.Tech. A sober man laughs at it. Prahlad Maharaj laughs at it. In fact, it went on and he explains how human life affords an opportunity for pleasing Krishna. But instead of that, what we are doing in a human life is only working for the pleasures which are available also in animal form. You cannot compete. This is a very small basic thing. I hope this is all understood. We cannot compete with animals in sense gratification, sir. Eating, sleeping, they can do much better than you. Why you want to waste your time over these activities? We were discussing this point. Everything we have to see what is the utility of that thing. We have a mic now, this can be used in a purpose, particular way. So when we have a human body, we should see what is the best utilization of this body. Not this materialistic pleasure, but the animals can do better than you. You cannot compete with them for all this thing. Freely, leniently, the nature is giving them these pleasures. Human life is not meant for that. Human life, the extra intelligence of human life is not meant to have these materialistic pleasures in a very decorated way. Human life is meant for spiritual happiness, for spiritual realization. To solve the real problem of life, education means to solve my problem. I have a problem, sir, between this birth and death, which is a very big problem anyway. I am having difficulty, embarrassment, shortcoming of old age and disease. How do I deal with it? What should I do? This is education. This is the mark of education. Educated man means he has understood to solve these 4 problems in front of him. And a drunk man means he is walking on the road, he cannot see a truck is going to come and hit him. Okay? That is called uneducated. Avidya has been cultured mean, and rather what happens is that by culturing avidya, as I was discussing, even in tamoguna you can culture is avidya. It doesn't require satyaguna. That's why we see a person who is so well educated, we bring him to hear ishopnishad, they cannot understand one word because he is tamasic fellow, rasic fellow. What he will understand this literature? This requires a lot of satyaguna. And they become proud. Oh, I have become so educated, I am earning so much money in society. He becomes very proud. He becomes completely opaque, completely, just like you throw water on rocks, simply flows. He cannot absorb anything. His pride does not allow him to hear submissively to the message of Bhagavatam. If somebody is not proud, therefore Chaitanya Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, in the purport we read, Jadavidya Maya Andhakara. This materialistic education makes an ass out of a person, makes him gadha. Inside this education system comes a gentleman trying to learn something, 5-year-old boy. Parents personally bring him there. Every day you see, they take all the effort bringing the child to this avidya culture. But who's there? This much energy they are not putting in vidya culture. They will not do. Rather, they will get alarmed if by mistake the child starts taking interest in vidya. Oh my God, great disaster has happened. My child is culturing vidya nowadays. He started reading Bhagavad Gita. Oh my God, what is going to happen to him? This is what the society we are meeting. Hiranyakashipus, small Hiranyakashipus. Like when Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu could see is culturing vidya or cultured vidya, he got alarmed. Kill him! Somehow stop. Rather, when Prahlad Maharaj, he comes to know, he has not only himself, he has taught vidya to his other friends. He said, I will personally kill him. Previously, Hiranyakashipu tried to kill him through his other people, which they failed. Then he personally tried to kill, which also he will fail. Narasimha will come and kill him. He cannot be touched. But this is how it is. So Prahlad Maharaj continues. He says that, see, that is what is happening. Now, don't you see that? We are trying to chew the chew. The sense gratification, it doesn't give us pleasure. But again and again we try the same thing. Why don't you understand the futility of this way to become happy? Why don't you go for spiritual knowledge? And instead of that, he says, human life, 50% of the time people spend is sleeping. And I was actually feeling we don't spend 50% time. But the fact is something else actually. You see anybody when they get time, how much they sleep, I get a shock actually. I get a shock. Sometimes the students come and stay with us over the weekend. I get a shock. True, sometimes we also sleep a little more when we are tired or a little careless. But this much cannot be understood. 15 hours, 18 hours, sleeping. Madness it is actually. Madness. We can see that culturing of India by seeing all that kind of a behavior. My God. I used to think we sleep only 8 hours. But not the materialistic man. Materialistic man sleeps and sleeps. He is actually sleeping whole life. His all activities are also for a not meaningless activities. And then he says 50% time goes in sleeping. Then kya bacha? Another 50% time is remaining. In that he says, first 10 years of the life are in absolute foolishness. Only parents give some meaning to the child's activity. But actually there is meaning. There is no meaning. And then spiritually it has no meaning at least. 10 to 20 years We are affectionate. Saying don't be affectionate to a child. Everybody. By nature's way, children are created in a way that draw affection. Yes, we should be affectionate. Yes. But give them real thing. If you are affectionate to them. Why give them materialistic pleasure? And 10 to 20 years, children become busy in frivolous sports. Therefore, you see below 20 years, impossible to teach any sense to a child. We also see in a college, by the time people come to third year, some soberness comes to their head. Before that, God, Prabhupada says the whole youth today is becoming a headache. It is true because avidya is cultural. But at least sometimes see by 20 years, we can see the symptom. They start becoming something serious about their life. Among, not all, some of them. And then, until 20 years, generally busy with sports. And 20 years to 80 years of life, they can do something. 80 to 100 again waste. Person becomes invalid. So you see, 60 years are remaining, 40 years are gone because of inabilities. First 20 years, too kiddish. And 60 to 80 years is invalid to do anything. And this 60 years, half the time he sleeps. Bacha 30 to 30 years. In this 30 years, he gets involved in money making. Money, 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 sweeter than honey, honey, honey. And for this money making, he does even sinful activities. Shamelessly. Ready to do anything. And then, you see, they have a photograph of the wife or husband or the child in their mobile. So attached. Small children's talk. So pleasing it is to the heart. He completely forgets his business of self-realization. Lost in his attachment. Completely forgets. Where? The Shankaracharya also says that statement. What is the statement? He says the childhood. Something like that. He says in the childhood they are busy in sports, and in Taruna Raktaha, when they become young, they are busy running for opposite sex. So many we hear depression cases because of that. So many, practically 50% are that only. Some problem. That the boy is not interested in me and I am not able to study nowadays. What happened? Girlfriend. Then next. And Vriddha, they become old, million anxieties they have. And Baba, enough now, you hand it over, your children will take it. No. He's not listening, because his whole life has gone into building big establishment. And then anxieties about that. That is not happening properly. Your business, you have expanded, that is not happening properly. Some problem will always be there. This world is what? Padam yat vipadam. Every step there is a danger. So some anxiety will always be there. Nothing can go perfectly. And then you expanded not only business, you expanded big family. When this child is there, and that child has one wife, that wife has 2 kids. Big family is there. And there's so much anxiety about them is there. It's full of that. Vriddha Davas Chinta Magna. Kopi. Then he says, Shankaracharya, Parame Brahmani. Nobody is interested in Brahman, nobody is interested in the Supreme Lord. This is, alas, a calamity. So this is what the Saint Prahlad Maharaj explains in his own way. And he says, it's so natural to please the Lord. Then he goes, he's a great devotee. In fact, when Prahlad Maharaj is asked, why is it that you cannot forget the Lord? He says, what can I do? And the Shandai Ramarka say to him, what is this attachment to the Lord? He said, I have no independence. Just like an iron is attracted to magnet, I am naturally attracted to the Lord. I have no independence, my dear sir. I am helpless. I am naturally attracted to the Supreme Lord. Correct? Just like we all know the example of Hanuman also. Naturally attracted to the service to the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj, another great example. Naturally. These are the examples to follow, sir. Not this cricket star, film star. Why are you wasting your time with them? Kick them out. Don't read one page of newspaper from tomorrow. We are wasting your time hearing about this third-rate people. These politicians, cricket stars. Why you waste your time hearing about them? He said that, now he's getting married, today is his birthday, and people will talk about that. Correct? His birthday is the don't waste your time, please. Hear about these personalities. Even one shloka you read spoken by them, that will save your life. we'll culture Vidya. Anyway, so this happens. And after this, what happens? These people get awakened in spiritual life. And that is Prahlad Maharaj. There is one more instance where Vidya Avidya clashes. That is where Narada, Daksha in the 6th canto, he had Hariyashvas. And what are the second set called? He had, Daksha is a typical materialistic man. He had problems with Lord Shiva also. Finally his head got cut and goat head was placed there. And then previous to that he had problem with Narada also. Very materialistic person. Typical pious materialistic person. He's not a sinful man. Huh? He's pious man. Sometimes you get darshan of God also. He's not a sinful man. Pious materialistic man. Many times you ask somebody, what is the goal of it? I want to be a good man. Typical person like that. Fully materialistic good man. But no way to do culture of Vidya. Only a Vidya. So what happens that you cannot say he's fully a Vidya also, this man, because he is in Vedic culture. Knows something. He is one of the Prajapatis, son of Brahma. Knows something. Doesn't know anything. But somehow lost the very picture of goal of knowledge. So what happens that he produces 10,000 children and says all his children, now you go do some tapasya, come back, further populate this whole universe, produce children. So what happens is that Narad Muni goes, they have gone to some place, what is the place name? Narayana or something. Nice place name, very holy place. They take bath in the river, holy river, they are purified. And they are doing tremendous tapasya for self-purification, to get ready to come and enter Grihastha ashram and produce pata children. Generally, that is how the parents' ambition is. My children should go up, then get married, and like me, they should also produce children. And in my married life, there was no peace. Why I am propagating the same thing? All the children know how much peaceful the house was. So why I want to say that is the mission of life? Okay. So the children are doing austerity, getting ready to enter Grihastha ashram and also produce children like that. Someone Narada comes there. And Narada sees him. So pious boy, so nice boy. Narada speaks to them just one shloka and walks away. One shloka. If I open that, maybe I'll take it on next time. It's a big education. Vidya. The shloka is full of Vidya. He talks about a place, having gone, nobody returns from there. These sit and they understand. Actually, it's true. Somebody gone to Patala, never seen to come back. And this can also refer to Vaikuntha. One goes there, who comes back from there? So the boys consider that. They're thinking, 10,000 of them. He just drops the shloka and walks away. They all keep discussing among themselves the meaning of the shloka. They know Narada is a great sage. And the second thing Narada says about, in this place there is only one man who is an enjoyer. One man. They understand that is Supreme Lord. Actually there is only one enjoyer, Supreme Lord. All of us are, what are our position? We are servants to participate in the pleasure of the Lord. That's all. Our business is not to compete with the Lord. Our business is to be a servant. What does the servant do? It is servant business. If the master is eating nicely, he will also put up his table and chair. He will also compete. No. Master is having dinner now. That all the servants will rush to participate in the, cooperate in the enjoyment of the master. That is the business of the servant. Not to imitate the master. Correct? Common sense. So similarly, we being servant, Jiva is Swarup hai, Krishna, Nitya, Dasa. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the original nature of the living entity is what? It is the eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. So that's what they should do. Just absorb themselves and participate in the pleasure of only one enjoyer, that is Krishna. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasa Bhritya. There is only one enjoyer, the Supreme Lord. Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Bhokta Rama Ekanada Pasam, I am the only enjoyer. And that will make you peaceful. If you try to artificially imitate the Lord, just like a finger cannot enjoy, everything should go to stomach, then the finger is also nourished. The Indian thing is artificially, it would also enjoy something rasgulla. It is not possible. You have to participate in the pleasure of the stomach, then you nourish. We can enjoy only through Krishna. That is education. That is called vidya. Avidya means all of you become perfect sense gratifiers. That is avidya. And that is what is taught today in the modern educational institution. Therefore we call it culture of avidya. Not only that, the worst thing is what is not taught, but what is taught in this, as a culture there, all the sinful activities. Prabhupada said, instead of learning any education, person enters there to learn all sinful activities. And without having a goal of life, without having vidya in his head, he becomes slaughtered in no matter of days. Parents might have spent 18 years teaching him some values. No parent wanted to teach a child back then. Some principles. But because of failed to teach him vidya, within seconds, within days, within months, is slaughtered into sinful activities. Everybody has seen that, correct? When we came to the education, none of us knew. Days, the slaughter. Nowadays, it's not a college, it is 12th class, 10th class. In America, it is 7th class, 6th class, child gets into sinful activities. Okay, just advancement of avidya means this, age should become less. So then this happens, so these people start hearing all that. And he says there is a wheel which is rotating in this place, sharp, with sharp edges. They understand that to be Kala, death. Kala brings forward all the miseries of life. We don't request, it comes, and finally we are cut. We are also dying in this place. This place is temporary. Like that, there are so many elements in the shloka. Every word they keep discussing and understanding. And after that is over, they decide, yes, let us serve the Supreme God. Let us serve our real Father, the scripture. It talks about surrender to the Lord. They all understand that and they don't go back home to produce children. They walk away. And Daksha is so angry, his lips are trembling in anger. Then what happens? Brahma comes and consoles him. Don't worry, it's okay, it's fine. Then next comes, he produces another 1,000 children. Hare Krishna. Daksha means expert. He is expert in producing children. Expert in sex life. He produces another 1,000 children. Now he is not an ordinary person. Daksha is one of the Prajapatis. But a modern day man, how much they can produce? 1, 2, 3, 4. Daksha can produce at a time in thousands. They are the progenitors who populate the whole universe. Therefore, they are specially given empowered to do all this. Actually. Next, he produces 1,000. And there is a Haryashva, the first 10,000. This was some Shailashva, some another name is there. And these people also are sent to the same place of practicing austerities. And again, they also practice austerities and they become pure. And Narada lands up again there. Narada again instructs them in the same way. And then tells, after that, it's always good to follow elder brothers. It's always good. You know, we should all, elder brothers are always the best example. We should follow our elder brother. They say correct. They also walk away. They don't go back home. And Daksha sees all inauspicious symptoms at that time. You know, in materialistic, all inauspicious symptoms. And then he comes to know the news. Some person come messenger running to him. Your 1,000 sons are also left now. They're not going to come back home ever. All have taken sannyas, like your previous 10,000 sons. And Narada instructed them actually. And Narada was actually feeling so electrified spiritually, having, given them a spiritual happiness and spiritual goal. Because servants of the Lord are daring, he comes to Daksha to instruct him to take spiritual life seriously, out of all the people. And Daksha was already trembling in anger. And Narada comes in front of him, instructing him also. See, spiritual life is very important, we should surrender to the Lord. Daksha now becomes wild in anger and says, you are the most sinful man. I don't know how you are allowed to accompany the Lord. I just cannot understand. Such a sinful man like you, how can you be part of the Lord's entrenage? I just cannot understand. You are unfit for that actually. Like this, like that. We are the ones who are actually following dharma. And how we can at such a tender age take to spiritual life like this, like that. Culture of Vidya, culture. He should have been so glad actually. He should have had a celebration at his home. My child has now dedicated himself to spiritual life. No, he had a calamity, as if death has occurred at home. Generally that happens. Any house when they son announces, I'm now taking spiritual life, I'm not interested in this, all I have to delete all this materialistic life and all the anxieties of that, as if death has occurred. All of us have seen that. And then Prabhupada also saw that. Prabhupada used to say, just like Daksha then curses Narada, you cannot stay in a place more than 3 days. Narada is very happy, good. Let me keep traveling and preaching. Prabhupada also was, sometimes used to laugh. Because he also, 10,000 youngsters in America joined him full time to spread the Vedic knowledge. Deleting that so-called materialistic life ahead of them. And Prabhupada used to say sometime, your parents have cursed me. Therefore, I am also not able to stay a place more than 3 days. Prabhupada had hundreds of centers. He could not stay at any place or hardly any. If he stays one place, then the calls are another place. Please come, we are all waiting for you. And Prabhupada has to travel. Prabhupada used to say, I have hundreds of places, but I cannot stay. I have been cursed by the parents of my disciples. Yeah, this is there. So, this Vidya and Avidya are completely contrasting thing. Those who are culturing Avidya, they think they are fools. And we think they are fools. That's the fact. Prabhupada says, they say we are crazy, we say they are crazy. Okay? Somebody sees a life like this, they say they are crazy. They are crazy men. And we say they are crazy. That we have been seeing, I have been doing now this class. Who is crazy? Prabhupada wrote a class, lecture actually. Who is crazy? The fact is, they are crazy. Because Shastra is the arbiter. Shastra and Acharya say, they are crazy. To lead a materialistic life with the ambition of sense gratification, with only ambition of so-called religious principle. Don't take it seriously. These are called superficial religious principles. Why? You start reading, you can see Gita properly, seriously. Everybody will stop you. Therefore, you can know they're only following it superficially. They have no faith in it. You say, I want to dedicate my life to spread this knowledge. Along will you there at home. That means this is a superficial, bogus religion they are following. It's superficial. We have seen it. Anybody has seen it? Superficial, bogus religion. No serious intention actually to follow the scripture. Some peace I get, some happiness I get. With this I can nicely earn money and I can have some opulence and I can enjoy in a dharmic way. Dharma artha kama. And maybe at the end of life I'll develop a desire for moksha. This is actually condemned in a Vidya civilization. And this is the culture of Vidya and Avidya. Anye devahu vidyaya, anyadahu avidyaya, iti shushyamadhirana. A sober person can actually discriminate between what is Vidya, what is Avidya. Just like a farmer, only he has the intelligence to discriminate between a weed and a real plant. Correct? So similarly, what I am cultivating, I have to see Vidya or Avidya. But then, now after discriminating them, Ishopnishad in the next shloka will say something very interesting now. Further adds to that. He said to be practical life, you have to cultivate both of them together. Certain amount we have to cultivate Avidya, but no, it is Avidya. Because how will you fill your belly then? But no Avidya. It's some education for learning how to fill belly. At the same time, I have to cultivate spiritual life. But always know what is primary, what is secondary. Primary is Vidya, not Avidya. We should be very, very clear. We should. And no way by the Bhagavatam that comes in the first canto, second chapter, what does it say? Savai pumsa paradharma yata bhakti yadhokshaje ahetuki apratiyada yayahu suprasidati. Then Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asuvera Jnanajana Hetukam. Then next. It says if you get money, don't use it for sense gratification. Even if dharma gives you money. Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho arthaya upakalpate narthasya dharma ekantasya Kamalavaya hinataha. So he's warning us. Okay, you may dharma you follow and you may get some money out of it, but don't use that money for sense gratification. Okay? Never think like that. Use that money for glorification of the Lord. Dharma se hi apavargasya. The real purpose of dharma is apavarga, to make us renounce this world and come to the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay? So human life is very rare, and accelerated attempt should be there actually to reach the lotus feet of the Lord. In fact, this should become the mission of our life. Okay? And that is Vidya. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki,